Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. Felony charges by postdictal. I was throwing up all morning, and eventually my roommate had to call 911 as I was foaming at the mouth and appeared to be having a seizure. He said it was like the lights were on, but no one was home. At the hospital, I was aggressive and tried to bite the nurse. No injuries. I have no memory of any of it. Completely out of character for me, and completely out of character for me to try and bite people. Even tried to bite my family members. Had to get a lawyer and turn myself into jail for 2 battery felonies. Still working through that. I've never had a seizure before and scheduled an appointment with a neuro. Any additional advice? I think the hospital suspected I was on drugs even after drug testing me and it being negative, other than the benzos they gave me and the medical marijuana prescription. Brain MRI and EEG came back normal. Any advice on moving forward? I've never had a federal charge touching anybody.
Get a lawyer because you were not of sound mind at the time those alleged crimes were committed. Those charges will not stick. You got to get the right people to fight for you.
Go ahead, Toaster.
Listen to Kate.
Agreed.
But also, this is obviously it's not a felony, but I have been arrested while post-ictal before. And it, it happened while I was still in college. And it didn't. My dad was able. Well, my dad knows how to. My dad knows legalese. He's my hero. And nothing ever came of it, thank God. But if I didn't have that, then I would have been screwed.
I'm trying to think of something Mark, the icebreaker question was, what's something you regret doing that you could have done but did not did? Something like that? What's something you regret not doing when you had the chance?
Those sound like 2 different questions. Is it one or number 2?
The question would be, what's something you regret doing when you had the chance?
Something you regret not doing, like
there you go.
like
Something
skydiving or
not doing.
or scuba
An
diving.
opportunity I missed.
Yeah, like that.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you come back to me? I need some time to
Yep.
think about that one.
We can move on to Jeff. Jeff, what do you regret doing that? Something you regret not doing that you when you had the chance. There we go. Because I'm all over the place with the question right now.
I regret
It's all good.
not getting. I regret getting addicted to coke. That's what I regret.
That's legit.
Those were the good old days. No,
They certainly were. But they were expensive old days.
Hey, Jeff, I meant to tell you, you started a great discussion between, my family when you brought up that thing about the testing in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot about that. So always learning more every day. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Kate, I don't think you answered that, did you?
I just had that boring practical answer of investing money.
Mm. I think that's everyone except me for now. And Mark, we'll come back to you. Sailor Mom, what was your answer?
I didn't answer. I didn't answer, but my first thought was to have another baby, to not let them tie my tubes when they forced me to. Because when they got in there, they said, "Oh, yeah, you don't have any scar tissue. You could totally do this again." I was like, man, y'all made me sign the paperwork. Anyway, yeah. But I don't know other than that. Maybe invest it, but I did invest. Like, I invested every place that I worked, and I always ended up having to use it for some emergency or other. Pull the money out of the 401k for one thing or the other. I don't know. I guess I don't. Maybe. No, I don't really regret too much. Maybe not getting out of the Bay Area sooner because it was stressful, but I love my job, so that's hard, you know? And that's where the kids grew up. I don't know. That's all I got.
Hey, Melissa.
You had the best answer yet. Oh, I don't think we heard from. Yeah, no, Nick answered that one. Look, no.
Hey, Melissa, you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right.
The icebreaker today was, what's something you regret not doing when you had the chance?
Um, hmm. I don't know.
We can come back to you. I might
Yes.
forget.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, got something else here, you guys. It says, epilepsy is destroying my life. Please help. Hey, I'm new to Reddit and I came here after being recommended by a friend. I have a condition called temporal lobe epilepsy, and the seizures happen mostly when I'm sleeping. After a seizure, I find myself weak and bedridden for a week and a half minimum. They happen randomly almost every 2 months. My parents can barely afford the medication and drip I'm put on to speed up the recovery process. My girlfriend hates being left alone for weeks, and my classmates don't know my condition, but they are very supportive during recovery. How can I make it stop or keep it occupied for as long as possible?
I mean, when they're talking about making it stop, are you thinking triggers? You know, figure out what actually causes the seizures?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're saying, how can we make their nocturnal seizures stop?
Yeah, journal.
Yeah,
That's where I
I
would
don't.
start.
Yeah, that's good, but sometimes, you know, if you've got uncontrolled, medication resistant, it just depends. You got to get all the tests, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
or
answer.
Nature's Made by B12, you know. Shout out to Nature's Made. I heard it works. I mean, not a permanent thing, but yeah. Jeff said he took it and he didn't have a seizure for 3 days, right, Jeff? Jeff, you there?
Okay, here I am. Wait, I turned myself off. Ah, hello. I took it and didn't have a seizure for, well, I haven't had a focal for 3 weeks.
Nice.
2 weeks, little over 2 weeks. Uh, I had a nocturnal last night, but I haven't had a focal since I started taking it.
Progress is progress.
Yeah, it works great.
Yeah, every little bit counts. You got a celebration plan for if you make it to a month?
My celebration is going to be going home to the desert.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
That's my celebration.
Someone in the comments said, if you're 18 plus, try applying for state insurance. That's how I've been covering the cost and my medication and numerous doctor visits. Someone else said, hey, friend, I also have TLE. My seizures were also mostly occurring in my sleep before medication got them under control. Of course, medication is going to be the thing that will control them the most. If your current medication isn't working, reach out to your doctor to see about switching. Worth a shot. Also, limit caffeine and artificial sweeteners. Best of luck. That's a good one. Next one said, this shit is starting to get exhausting. I was seizure free for a year and a half until I had a seizure in one of my college classes. My neurologist and I agreed to up the meds very slightly, and since then I've had 3 seizures. It's been 5 months. I don't know what to do. I miss my life. I miss driving. I've never had this amount of seizures in this span of time, and it's slowing my thinking. I used to be sharper, faster. My memory was far better. I don't know what to do. Anyone else experience something like this? My meds, like, aren't working or what? Sounds like the beginning. I haven't had a break like that, but I could assume that would be kind of depressing. You go a year and a half and then it just out of nowhere. But you got to expect these things. At this point, I just can't say it's kind of part of life. I don't not expect it to come. So I know these medications aren't promising much. Go ahead, Toaster.
That is something that's actually not presented much. Just as much as vocals aren't. And media and everything is people who are controlled. Their seizures are controlled. They are still experiencing the side effects of their medications because that's how their medications are controlling. And back to your shout out, our medications will suck vitamins out of us. And I think Kate went on a whole rant on it once, or maybe that was in my head. Anyway, but I forgot where I was going. But it's a thing. They're still having the effects that everyone else. No one has more epilepsy than the other. We're still dealing with life. And this is what our group is doing, is that we're bringing life into it. You went to a concert.
Yeah, it was lit.
Yeah. Jeff is almost at 1 month. We're going to have a party. We'll have a party
Oh,
in 2
nice.
weeks.
I should have had a party at my 3-month mark.
Yes.
But
So there's another answer for something you wish you had taken advantage of.
Now I don't know how to
start
lower
over.
my hand. I'm sorry. This is why I don't use the emotion. I don't know
It's
how
all
to
right.
stop it.
In the comments, there's one that says, I was so fucking close to being a year seizure free back in November. I want to say at least a week or 2 away. I'm hoping to whatever force is out there that this is the year I finally go 1 out of 5 to 6, go 1 year free. But yeah, I get it. Epilepsy sets you back and fucks you over so many ways. I had to mess around with a bunch of meds to get it right. And even then, it's a debatable if my current combo is even working IDFK anymore. My memory is processing. My memory and processing used to be good too. I got diagnosed 3 years ago, so it's still a pain in the ass when it comes to med side effects. But nope, not anymore. You should definitely meet with your neuro. Either something needs to be added or a new med. Another comment says, epilepsy is a bitch. No two ways about it. I myself went almost 5 years seizure free, only to develop a drug resistant epilepsy. Most cases change in some ways, not to mention the extra crap like headaches, insomnia, mood, mood, memory, brain fog, etc. Not saying you will or won't deal with this stuff, but I have, and it's bloody exhausting. We understand you. Yeah. Another one here. Does anyone else have PTSD from having seizures in public? I have horrible anxiety with public speaking. It's been that way for 15 plus years. I think it's due to the fact that I have had 5+ seizures in large crowds, coming to with 50 to 100 plus people surrounding you, wondering, judging if you're coming out of an overdose or not. I say this because someone called an ambulance one day and the medics arrived saying that, verse asking if I had epilepsy. I had a surgery that so far cleared my seizures, 6 years and counting, but the insecurity of past experiences still lives on. My job may be requiring more presenting in the next few years. Is therapy a viable option to get over this trauma? If so, any kind of idea what kind? My therapy was for something else. My therapy was just regular depression. The average depression, regular stuff.
Maybe they could get out of that hang up by thinking more about what what they're looking forward to. If they've gone that long, they said 6 years. That's a lot of time wasted to be scared of trying something new. So if anything, come chill with us. We'll get you out of that slump.
Anybody else got something? Tell me your therapy stories. Anybody around here with PTSD? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I did cognitive behavioral therapy and now I'm doing dialectic therapy, behavioral therapy. You got to be ready to do the work. It's going to hurt. Not physically, but it's going to hurt. And for me, PTSD I had childhood PTSD as well. So, there's something different for everybody. It doesn't always work for everyone, but you got to do something. And at least cognitive behavioral therapy, I could kind of create a pause in my thinking and say, wait a minute, I'm thinking the wrong things and it's making me feel like this. And I'm just going to get mad and, do a trauma vomit. But, I had to learn not to do that and retrain my brain. But it doesn't get rid of PTSD. Nothing does. It's always going to be there, and it isn't until I accepted those events and all of that stuff that happened as that wasn't me. That wasn't my fault. That was stuff that somebody else did to me. And every now and then I get the opportunity to say to somebody that's, been abusive, not the serious abusers, because they're not allowed in my life. But like to prevent more abuse, you have to learn. I had to learn to speak up for myself and say, excuse me, what did you mean by that? And this is how it made me feel. And are you okay with making me feel that way? And usually, for people who like to say stupid shit, that usually slows that down. But for me personally, it was like, it gave me a little more control over my thoughts. And, it's easier if you ever look at cognitive behavioral therapy, it's just a different process on how you allow your thoughts to affect your emotions and your actions. Yeah, we know all of our emotions. You don't have to do all that part. It's just your feelings, your thoughts, and your actions, and how your thoughts can affect your actions. And that was huge for me because most of the thoughts when we have PTSD aren't really fully true. And once I figured that out, it's like, okay, that's a huge garbage bag I can leave behind, but PTSD from seizures, that's it takes the same kind of like the cognitive PTSD, but knowing that they can happen again can be really hard because that makes it a complex PTSD. So just like anybody who has disability, yeah, this could happen again, or you have this vulnerability you have to deal with, and it was helpful for that as well. But as far as trauma, I can look at myself and say, wow, I survived that, and I'm not going to let it happen again because I do have that control. But definitely, from a personal point of view, cognitive behavioral therapy really changed things for me. Um, and I don't know, I know my trauma therapist very well, and she works with people with invisible diseases, invisible disabilities. And we take a lot of trauma from family and strangers. And sometimes the best thing to do is to just make that person think about what they're doing and saying in order to get it to stop. So, but yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Toaster, did you have something?
Well, first of all, Annie's badass, and I aspire to be you one day.
Me too.
I'm humbled.
Me
I am
too.
humbled, but this is what therapy, the right kind of therapy.
Does.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the difference between CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and the the begin with B?
Dialectic.
The
Um,
D.
yeah,
B
D.
D.
Yeah, dialectic behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is where you basically change your thinking about what you're thinking and feeling. Um, and that changes your action. You can make choices about what you are feeling and allowing yourself to feel. Where dialectic is where two things can exist at the same time,
Holy shit.
such as I love my sister because she's my sister. I absolutely love her. However, she should be in prison. And I can feel both of those things and not feel guilty.
It's like
You
the
know
love
what I
of a
mean? So it's,
child. I'm sorry, I'm simplifying it. It's the love of a child.
yeah,
You love them so much, but sometimes you're like, what the hell is your idiot ass doing?
yeah. And the thing
That's
with
the thing I'm
dialectics,
always just like,
yeah, the thing with dialectics is many times um, I learned that it was their trauma that was making them hurt me. And that's the other advantage of dialectics and cognitive behavioral therapy, where it's like, okay, maybe you did do something wrong and you did deserve somebody's negative behavior, but you don't have to allow it to control you. I mean, when it's over, it's over. That was then, this is now. And dialectics is really helpful with people who um, have, I'm not going to, yeah, the best way to say this for me is who have narcissistic behavioral characteristics. Not everybody has a narcissistic personality disorder. I can tell you the difference by what I've experienced, okay? I know what NPD looks like. I know how they behave. It's like clockwork. They literally are all the same. But with dialectics, it's like, okay, maybe I did do something to offend them, and I can apologize for that, but I don't have to accept their reaction. But they had the right to react. Um, you can get books on it. You can get the CBT workbook is online, but it's always better to do it with a therapist. I can't tell you how many times I would be like, okay, 2 days after my session, and something would hit me almost like an epiphany, and I would be hitting the floor and saying, I cannot function. I cannot believe this happened to me. And then I would start blaming myself. And that's where no, you don't blame yourself. You take that negative experience and you use it to grow. But I am not perfect. I am far from perfect. I still have my moments, and I do know that when I started doing the therapy, it was kind of funny because it's stuff that we've known since we were kids. It's like you don't want, treat others the way you would have them treat you. If you do something wrong, apologize. And if you can't fix that relationship, move on. Okay, so Sally doesn't want to be my friend anymore. Oh, my life is over in third grade. No, there's more Sallys.
Beautifully said. What's up, Mark?
I just wanted to mention, in a kind of, I guess, an academic sense, that the framework for cognitive behavioral therapy was developed based off of the philosophical framework of Stoicism. So like the philosophers of, I mean, Marcus Aurelius in particular,
Such
you
as
can see.
the ancient philosopher Zeno. Do you know him?
I'm not familiar with him. I know that like Plato and Marcus Aurelius are like the two big ones. Marcus Aurelius, I think, was a student of Plato or Socrates. I'm getting them all mixed up now.
It's okay. I'm
But
sorry. I just wondered if you had
I,
ever heard of him because I had sometimes you hear that he's the grandfather of Stoicism, so maybe he was before Marcus
he may have
Aurelius and
been,
some of the other ones.
yeah, yeah. The
Yeah, I just heard that. I'm sorry.
the the philosophical movement of Stoicism was already well established by the time that Marcus Aurelius came about, and he considered himself a student of the school of Stoicism. So yeah, so I would assume that he's quite a bit earlier than Marcus Aurelius, at least a generation. But I've been reading meditations, Marcus Aurelius, and that, and but this translation in particular is nice because it breaks it off into like individual lines rather than coming just as like a gigantic
Rather
wall
than
of
just
text.
paragraphs of text over,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
more,
the
yeah,
translations before this are kind of just gigantic wall of text type
right.
thing. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Well, that's cool.
it's been really cool. There's, I think multiple different books in it.
Stoicism is really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really helpful too. I mean, you can kind of just sit and think about how practical it is while you're reading it, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you
All
for
right,
that.
sounds useful. Something to try after I'm done with reading these beyond seizure books. So welcome, Angel. There's a really good icebreaker today,
Oh, yeah.
but I can't remember it. Go ahead, Pookie.
Bring it on.
Huh?
What's the icebreaker?
It is. What is something you regret not doing when you had the chance?
Oh, that is. Oh. Um. This is.
This
I.
is why my answer was so goofy.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Should have
This is
stayed in
one of them.
college. I was already having seizures, so I mean, couldn't get no worse than that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm torn on this because
I went to college, but I couldn't finish it. Like, I was going to St. Joseph's University,
right.
but I couldn't finish it because of funds and like medical bills and stuff like that.
I could have
But I wish I could have finished it. I definitely wish I could have finished it.
I could have gone away, but my dad asked me not to, and for some reason I said okay, and I didn't. But at the time I didn't know that he was going to die like 3 years later, 4 years later. So I'm glad actually that I didn't, because I would have been, halfway across the state. So instead I got to spend almost as much time with him as I wanted. So that's cool. Anyway, that's sorry. Nobody wanted to hear that, did they?
No, that's a beautiful answer to this one.
It's beautiful.
Honestly, that's the best part about these icebreakers is you can think about the flip side to each one. Well, it's something that you are glad you did go through with
Yeah.
prior to diagnosis.
Something I didn't do that everybody says, you should go to college. And a lot of times when I was younger, I thought, oh no, I should have done that. But no, I don't regret that one little bit.
I think for
Yes.
us, we're probably more likely to be appreciative of having all those, random teen escapades, if you will, because at this point we're not partying anymore. So even if I don't remember it, the most random things can bring back a memory from years ago. So those are the kind of things that I'm grateful that I did actually follow through with, even if it was just, some stupid garage, whatever. I might remember something from some random smell. One of these hotels brings back a memory and never knew. There was something in here too I was surprised to see. Did anybody ever really get anywhere with blood tests at the beginning or diagnosis or triggers or any of that?
What do
They
you
make a
mean?
big they make a big point of explaining, the beginning of what chapter is this one? Yeah, they call this is definitely the beginning. So I think this is diagnosis and treatment. So they make a big paragraph about the blood test being part of diagnosis, but I really remember that as just another, CGC or whatever the CBC. Yeah, they got one of those big detailed CBCs to just rule out everything else. I felt like it was just another kind of wait for the response, and then they still followed through with the same thing. It's like the blood tests were more just to make sure that none of the medications that they were planning on putting me on were gonna interact negatively with some other unknown autoimmune condition or something. I was just wondering if anybody ever did actually get anywhere with the blood test, figuring out the cause or something.
No, not
Nope.
me.
I went to the hospital just to do blood tests when I had a seizure. And they had me sitting there doing nothing. I'm sure it doesn't take that much time to do a blood test. People were just walking around and nurses were hanging out and shit. Looked like they were making
Wait,
TikTok videos and shit. Just
weren't your
doing.
levels changing while you're sitting there? That's not scientific at all, right?
No,
Like they're
because of
looking for certain
because of my health
things.
insurance,
Answer
um,
that. I can answer.
they're like, we're gonna take you to the hospital, and if you have any drugs in your system, then you're gonna pay for that hospital visit. So they had to do all that instead of just telling me that's why you're doing it. I had to ask a nurse. Um, yeah, so that's why I was sitting there for 6 hours. Toaster, go ahead. I have nothing besides I was irritated sitting there for hours, and it wasn't like I was asleep. I didn't have a headache. I didn't hit my head. Didn't bite my tongue that I knew of that night. Um, Found out in the morning that I actually had a little nick on the side. Um, but yeah, she told me this is why you're sitting here. We got to make sure you don't have street drugs in your system.
Sorry, memories are pouring out. Um, so I didn't finish college either, but my dad put me through a phlebotomy tech course. So I am not a phlebotomist. I am a was a phlebotomy tech, the person that you usually get coming to stick your blood.
Mm.
You were waiting around for the phlebotomist to say, okay, go ahead and get some because some of those tests have to be done within a certain amount of time. So they have to go straight into the centrifuge.
Mm.
That's one of the reasons why you're waiting so long. Another is you're actually being monitored for when you relax.
Got me good.
Well, yeah, if you're fidgeting and uh, most times they're going to wait until you're a little bit calmer because they don't want you passing out.
About that, I was pretty good. Like I said, I didn't bite my tongue, I didn't hit my head. I was sitting on the couch, so I just kind of flopped back. And I knew the
Pass out
president.
anyway, sir.
The time that I did remember the president, they took me. Didn't make sense to me. It was like, you're asking me questions. I finally answered the question. I was excited that I got a yes. And yeah, I got the answer right and still had to go to the hospital. Didn't make sense to me.
For Mark, this probably will not help in the long run, at least with the fainting, but it will prevent injury. Always ask for a butterfly needle if you are prone to fainting.
What
Nah.
what
Or
is that?
basically a baby needle.
Like just really, really tiny or
The little tiny thing. They have little tabs on them. They use them for children.
Or if you
Um,
have tiny veins.
or if you have tiny veins, those two.
Or if you're
I don't
dehydrated,
have any
because that
issues
that
with the
makes your veins
veins.
tiny.
Yes.
I've
No, you
been
want to be very
complimented.
hydrated. If they
Yeah,
ask you, do
I've
you
been
want water? Go ahead,
complimented on
take
my
it.
veins. They've told me that I have the best veins they've ever seen. Like one nurse said, literally no joke, these are the best veins I've ever had to work on.
I love my
Which
dad.
is
He was my guinea pig. Yes, he was. He would come to classes, and my mother, who was terrified of needles,
Mm.
consented to be the final test because she has baby veins that like to roll.
I got rolling veins, I heard.
Yes. Yeah. The butterfly needles provide
The
um
one with the little pinchy things.
yes.
Yeah, I know
Yes,
the.
the reason why the other ones are preferred is because they are bigger and will fill the vial faster. But once the needle is in, most people freeze anyway or they faint.
I was
So,
having so many seizures early in that I just got used to the ambulance putting in an IV. You know,
yeah,
it's 20 years now. It's been more than 20 times. So,
I take after my mom. Um, for my surgery, they had to put my IV through my foot.
ooh.
Yeah.
I had one in the back of my hand.
Oh no, they couldn't find one in the back of my hand. And my oh no, they had to go through my foot. That's a last resort area.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I've had
that's
that happen once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is really like it. They're like, oh my god, let me try your foot. What do you have?
Yes.
Or those times it takes you so long to come back. By the time you even remember, that's all already done.
oh
And
yeah.
then
Oh
you
my
just
God.
realize like for the next for like the 3 or 4 days after, every time you try
I've
to
had
like
people
scrunch your
say,
toes
I
and
wish I would faint so they don't have to.
I had, yeah, you wanna faint when I had my neck surgery because they have to literally um they have to numb every nerve in your body.
Ooh.
And I had needles in both ankles, behind my knees, two places in my arms, and the ones that got me were under my arms. And that was before my neck surgery. And I'm sitting there while this guy is putting in the needles. I'm like, I can't do anymore. Okay. Boom goes the fentanyl. Okay. I can do anything now. That was kryptonite. Okay. But those needles, no. When I saw him putting it into my ankle, I'm like, no, stop, stop, no, no. And it's like, give her a little drip. So they were sedating me while they were putting the needles in because I don't know about you, but you get one, where you get poked under your arm when someone tickles you and it hurts? Imagine
Mm.
putting a needle there. No. Oh, no, no, no. And then those nerve tests. Yeah, no, no, I don't want to do that again either.
I got so many dots on my arm. I started to tell the nurse, that these aren't from drugs. She's got a lot of dots everywhere, a lot of track marks. A rough pass.
They
Yeah.
they were trying to put my epidural in my back with my twins the first time, and it was a nursing student, or they were doctorate students, I guess, doctor students, but it was like six little girls trying to hunch me over, and I was having twins, so I'm double my size and I'm swelled up like crazy, and they kept missing. They kept hitting things like bones and freaking everything but what they were supposed to. I thought, oh my god, is this ever gonna end? They had it was like
How
six
many
tries.
times
It was
they
crazy.
poked you?
I don't remember anything past the first seizure when it comes to labor, and I am thankful
Yeah,
because
I
it
didn't.
sounds like worse than no.
Yeah, I don't. I only had like major labor pains with my last one because I had C sections with all of them, but I did not enjoy it. It was not fun. I was like, I can't believe people choose to do this. This is horrifying. Please,
I
dear
love it.
God,
I
make it
love you
stop.
guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. You guys are my family. I've always wanted a big family, but I don't want to get pregnant to have one.
I feel you. Me neither.
Yeah, that was not. And then they kept having emergency C sections that had to go in front of me, and I was like, "This is not okay. Why am I still in this bed? This they're getting closer, guys. This is not okay. Come on." Mm. No, not fun. I have to agree. Mm-mm.
All right, let's move to the next one. It's a short one. Anyone else tired during the day after still sleeping 8 hours of sleep? I used to get that before I took B12 by Nature's Made. Shout out to Nature's Made. Now, lately, I'm not taking as many naps at all. I'm hungry more often. It's a different life on this B12. Like, seriously. I've never been this hungry in months. Like,
That's how much
yesterday, we went
progress.
to Chili's. We went to Chili's yesterday, and I got like a fajita, like hot plate for like 3 or 4 people, like 5 tortillas and a bunch of different meats, steak, chicken, and shrimp. And I ate it all to myself. My sister was like, that was for 4 people. I was just like, I paid $30 for this and I'm gonna finish it. So, and then she left hers there and it was just like a burger and fries. So I took that home and I ate that last night for dinner. I was just like, leave your burger and fries. She was like, but I'm full. Hey, I like leftovers. I'm not too good for leftovers. Some people are. Hey, to each his own. I got leftovers in the refrigerator right now.
When you have a big family to feed, unfortunately, it makes no sense, but you're going to have leftovers. You're just going to have it. When you have 4 kids and a husband and yourself, you're going to have leftovers because you have to cook big, or you're not going to cook enough. It's weird. 2 boxes of mac and cheese, not enough. Yeah, that sounds like a lot already, doesn't it?
Yeah.
3 boxes, way too much. It's a
It's a
fact
thing.
of life.
Yep.
But my grandfather, yes, you're going to get a story of Captain Oliver. Captain Oliver would spend every Sunday um making what's it soup. He'd be taking any type of leftover he could find that think would go well together and making it into soup, like this big giant gumbo. And it was delicious every time. And that's my story.
Anybody else? Sleep stories? Anybody still tired out there, not taking this B12 like I suggested? Shout out to Nature's Made.
I'm
I'm
tired all the
titrating.
time.
I'm
Oh,
still tired.
Go ahead.
well, I'm not taking B12, so I'm going to get some because it did help me when I was taking it. But yeah, I'm tired all the time. My neurologist, my epileptologist wanted me to get the MSLT test for narcolepsy because it's sort of my reputation. I'm always falling asleep.
Let me know how that B12 goes. And shout out to Nature's Made. Try the Nature's Made gummies. Those are so much easier than pills and capsules. You can chew it. It's good. Just make sure you don't eat too much because I've double dosed because they were so good. And then I thought about it like, why am I doing this? Yeah, they're gummies. So, and they're good. So, yeah.
Don't take them for the munchies.
Yeah. Got stuck doing that one time. Just an accident, average accident that an epileptic has. But hey, anybody else with the tiredness? Angel, looks like you took your mic off mute. Got something?
Yeah, I still get tired, but I'm titrating up every 2 weeks with the Excopri, and Excopri is one hell of a tiredness drug.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
I could say
Glad
the
all
benzo after that clobazam, I definitely have more energy.
The Pam
No more
and
no more clobazam. I do
Excopri is
not sleep more
knockout.
than 7 hours anymore.
Oh, nice. I got so much energy. Like I've told you guys one time, I woke up at 7 o'clock just to go to the bathroom, couldn't go back to sleep. And I was just like, I do not need these extra hours during the day. But I found something to do with it. Clean up, draw. I got some arts and crafts here. Sit right here at my new desk in this chair that's helped my back after this seizure. I had a game chair and it has a vibrating feature. It's working really good right now. Yeah. One up top, one up bottom. Yeah. So we'll move forward. What are things that are known to lower your seizure threshold? And have you ignored them and why? I'm just curious, but what are the things that are known to trigger seizures? I know like sleep deprivation, but what else? What about stuff like caffeine or not eating or drinking water? One of the comments says stress and lack of sleep are my biggest. If I'm really hot and not dehydrated, that can also be a trigger. Anybody else know their triggers? I had one and I did not know a trigger and I thought I was feeling good. I was a little tired. I was like, hey, this happens, regular epileptic stuff. And that wasn't the case.
I've knowingly ignored the hormonal changes. That time of the month is coming. The Apple gives me the warning, and I haven't put off plans and went ahead and ruined them. Regretted that.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
I thought we had someone new to answer this question. Oh, Raven. Raven, what's going on?
Hi, I'm faceless today, but I'm here.
That's all that matters is you're here. The icebreaker question was what, you guys? Come on. It's coming to me. It's not coming to me.
What would you have done before you got epilepsy if you could have? Am I right? Something like that? Like,
It's,
what do you
what's
regret not
something-
doing? What do you regret not doing before? Or what do you regret not doing, I guess,
Not
in general?
doing that you had the chance to do.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
I can't. I mean, I haven't had it for that long, and so I don't know if I have a really good answer to that yet.
What about in life in general?
But if I was saying before I got like any chronic illness at all, it would probably be things like go dancing more often or go traveling. Just like really live.
Yeah, if I didn't get it in high school, I might have really lived. Drove after high school, parked in the student parking lot, all that good stuff. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
I got to do that because I was misdiagnosed.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say lucky you, but that kind of doesn't go together.
Well, it's a strange thing. Part of me, I'm like, well, I'm happy with the way my life has ended up. I mean, okay. Yes, I'm happy where I am. That's what I'm meaning to say.
Me too.
And that was along the way, and I'm going to remember the good parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question we haven't answered also is, what are things that are known to lower your seizure threshold? I don't think we got any answers to that, did we?
Not drinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say that for the longest time, I knew drinking was my trigger, and I didn't care, and I was just gonna keep drinking because I was diagnosed.
Oh, I meant water.
I meant alcohol.
Hey, that works too.
I just did not want to quit drinking.
It's the same thing.
I just didn't care, and then finally I was like, no. I'm having too many seizures and they're almost always related to drinking. So I stopped, and then I finally stopped drinking, and then other things started triggering me that I have no control over.
Fun fact. Beer was once considered safer than most water,
I guess
particularly in places like Ireland.
I was
It
gonna
is
say that.
literally in their blood.
wasn't that to do with like bacteria in the water?
Yes.
Oh man, so everybody was just drunk all the time.
Yes. Even the
Dope.
kids.
Oh my god.
I hate beer.
That sounds like
And liquid bread. It was calories.
And if you
So
and honestly, a lot of oh yes, I'm going on a tangent now. A lot of Irish cooking involves beer. Lots of bases of stews. And yeah.
we put brandy in apple pie. Okay. So yeah, that's quite Irish. I can attest to that.
The Irish were the first ones to start putting vodka in spaghetti sauce. Why? Because they could.
Why not?
Hey, yeah, why not?
I'm seeing
Um,
something else here. They're bringing attention to adapting medications for women. Has anybody ever actually had a neurologist suggest that they change their medication regimen around, different parts of their cycle?
Yeah, my epileptologist did, and I was on Keppra at the time, and he suggested that I take one more pill than usual. Yeah, around that time, he said, like when I, right before, because that's usually when I was having the most seizures.
So that makes sense. Was that maybe one of your favorite neurologists? Somebody who actually seemed like they paid attention?
He really didn't know about catamenial seizures. But he did tell me honestly, he's like, I don't really know about it. He said, but if you feel like your seizures are increasing around this time, then you can increase your medication. But yeah, I mean, he was nice. Both of my epileptologists are very nice, but I think my case is kind of complex. And so they didn't really know what to do with me.
Yeah, that's news to me that any doctor would even change it like that. So we'll look into that a little more next Wednesday.
one of the comments to that thing that lowers threshold, someone said apparently Benadryl, but we know that already. Luckily, some of you still haven't stopped taking it, but I don't judge. There was something else I had. I forgot what it was. Oh, I think it was a joke to go along with what you were talking about at the time. You asked, has anyone's doctor mentioned this? I was going to say not mine, but yeah, I don't have an OBGYN or any of that good stuff.
And I would never imagine that an OB cooperates with a neuro. I mean, in my experience anyway. I don't know what the hell it is with like medical pride in Florida, or maybe it's a billing issue. I don't know. But yeah, none of my specialists have ever collaborated.
Got something else here. It says my mom is against me taking anti-epileptic medications. I asked my mother if it was okay taking these anti-epileptic medications because I needed her permission to get them prescribed due to financial issues. She said she's against me taking them. She just says, why don't you do more testing on July when I'm better? And said that she would not see me as a daughter if I kept lying to her about me secretly going to hospitals and getting tested. She said I don't have epilepsy because of normal EEG and told me to give the medication a second thought. How do I convince her taking this medication is essential. My mother's not like that, so I couldn't even imagine that situation. I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, and it kind of doesn't work.
This one sounds like they need to have a virtual appointment, bring the
I
mother
wonder
into the
how.
room, get that
I wonder.
professional to reiterate why these medications develop a dependence and actually make a difference. Go ahead, Melissa.
I was just gonna say, I wonder how old that person is. Like, are they 16 or 21 or 18? I mean,
That's true.
different things going on at different ages. Like, if you're 16, it's harder to tell your parents what to do. But if you still need them for money, you're dependent upon them. So I don't know, it just really sucks that I can't imagine somebody saying not to take epilepsy medicine.
Yeah, especially if
I could actually easily imagine myself in that situation, even though it didn't happen to me, thankfully. But I could easily see a mother feeling absolute relief at a child's clear EEG and wanting that so badly, she doesn't want to look further. When in most cases, you need to either A, have a damn seizure at your neurologist's office, or have an EEG showing something which requires an EMU stay most of the time before you can get something that even pops. And that's just because even though our EEGs are absolutely phenomenal, they are still not 100%. That doesn't mean we're not going to use them. Hell yeah, we're going to use them. Because it is only a matter of time before if you do have sparks in your head, they're going to spark. And um and they're making strides every day of getting more and more sensitive.
Fourth of July.
And I don't know where I was trailing with that. Love you. Oh, how do I get myself again?
It's definitely relatable. Go ahead, Angel.
I was gonna say, damn, I forgot. One thing she can say to her mother is, oh, now I remember. First of all, even if it's not epilepsy related, if you're having seizures, that means your body is trying to warn you that something is happening in your body and you need to get it checked out. It could end up getting worse. It with it being seizures, it could also possibly be, God forbid, a tumor in the head or something like that. And secondly, if it is epilepsy, you don't want the brain, those neural pathways to open basically and get used to having seizures, because they will keep happening more and more and more often.
It's true.
I'm curious to hear from somebody who's ever had resection suggested. How did they really get that, clear for that? Because they would have to narrow it down to one specific area in the brain and then go on to say, we can take it out. So I would just be amazed to see what kind of imaging that requires. And if it was successful, that the resection surgery just seemed like a total miracle to me. Long shot to say the least. What do you think about that, Toaster?
Okay, so um, and this actually the visit came back to me recently because I was talking to Jeff about it. Um, and so when it was resection was first brought up, it was like, well, you might not even need this. We gotta do tests, and of course, that required 3 normal EMU stays, and that were like one lasted 2.5 weeks. Yes, they are dedicated on getting that seizure. And that's when they started noticing, okay, it's coming more from this area. And then last one, I'm hoping I remember the term right, but an intracranium EEG. They have this cool robot and it drills holes into your skull so they can insert the wires into your skull. You're basically, you become a Borg queen.
You
And
have to be awake for it too.
yeah, no, you to still stay awake, EEG. And no, you can sleep because some people have nocturnal. It all
Well,
depends on
I
it
was
all
told you
depends on
have to
what type of
be
seizures you
conscious
have and present.
while they're drilling and
Oh, no.
inserting the electrodes in.
Nope. You could be
No,
completely out.
no, really?
Yeah, I was.
I think the term
Wow.
that she's using, intracranial, is just an indication that the recordings are taken directly from the brain, not
Yes.
necessarily at any specific stage of awareness or consciousness, but just from the location. If the
Yeah.
recordings are taken directly from the brain, that's where the intracranial term comes from. Whereas the subdural, that's what came to mind when you first said intracranial. And that's the one where also the electrodes are placed right on the surface of the brain. But I get the impression that a subdural EEG, they're more specific about the level of awareness on the patient
Yes.
to validate
Yes,
those
I think
results.
you got a Queen for the win. And that was able to tell them exactly where my focals start because I think someone mentioned that in the chat. Yes, I do have focals. And give me one. Oh, my dragon's home. But yeah, they were able to find exactly where it is. Give me one moment. Oh, yay, a thermometer. Thank you. Bye.
That was adorable. He just snuck in and gave mommy a thermometer. I love that. That's the kind of thing I can't wait to remember. Some random things from way back when, first words and things like that.
I got something else here. Says I found out that seizures can cause brain damage, and now I'm scared. Do you slowly lose your mind, or do you go in a coma and die? I take medication, Epilepsy 600 milligrams every day. Even though I take my meds, I still have grand mal seizures once or twice every 2 years. If I don't take my meds, I'll have a seizure within 3 days, of which it will end up so bad I end up with my shoulder dislocated. Do you know anyone that got their brain damaged from an episode? I know a few people, quite a few. Let me see how many are here. Yeah. To this person, I'm hanging out with a few right now. We're doing pretty good. Anyone got something for that person? I know I got brain damage. It's called encephalomalacia. It's soft brain tissue on the right side, and it's pretty much just going to be there. They can't take it out or none of that good stuff. Uh, so yeah, I just got epilepsy.
I mean, every seizure is robbing our brain from oxygen, so we're all pretty much getting brain damage little by little. So
And then if you get concussions too, that's an
yeah,
added bonus.
Yeah. And if you have long seizures, like 45-minute ones that they can't get you out of, that's super, takes a
or six
big chunk.
hours.
Yeah, or 6 hours, or if you have clusters like 14 in 3 days, it's probably causing some amount of brain damage. It certainly affects your memory.
Yeah,
So shaking for an hour, is it like consecutively or is it just clusters?
it's like consecutively.
So like you need an IV to bring you out because no amount of
Yeah,
like meds that they have at home can do it.
they had to put the Klonopin in me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep.
Um, First comment here. It says, "What's up, brain damage? Went into status for over an hour. Died. 6 out of 10 experience. No room service. Brain is much more sluggish and foggy than before, but I'm still alive and kicking. I have yet to go into a coma, but I'll report back if I do. I'm currently a senior in college, double majoring in biology and psychology. There is a massively noticeable difference in how I used to be versus now. I'm incredibly smart and have never needed to study. Before, I used to be able to look at a page and have the entire thing memorized. Homework was a breeze. Synthesizing from prior information was not an issue, and I was just a fun and easy thing to do. Now I struggle with remembering my schedule, sometimes even remembering I'm in school. Does it suck? Yeah. Would I rather have neurological issues than to be dead? Yeah. That's a good one. He pretty much summed it all up in a good way, made him feel good about it.
And they're still able to go to school. That's amazing. Even though they have
Is
to study harder. Hey, good for
getting
you. Keep up
something
the
out
good
of
work.
that psychology degree with his attitude, at least. Or her, did they say what gender they were? I don't want to
Um,
assert.
no, they didn't, but it looks like a guy.
I
Maybe a
guess
girl.
I don't know.
Yeah, this looks like it could be a girl. But yeah.
Person,
Oh
human,
no. It says I'm a
human
professional
individual.
cool guy and
Oh,
amateur
cool guy. Okay,
epileptic.
okay, yeah.
Professional epileptic.
I
Been in this
mean,
league for a long time.
has he finished his degree in epilepsy before getting that double, psych bio major?
I don't think so. I think he just started another major.
Oh, um, yeah, I can relate to a lot of what he was saying. Um, I got a mechanical engineering degree and never really needed to study. I just kind of listened and then just did the tests, I mean, I don't know any other way to say that without sounding arrogant. So, but yeah, I guess my advice would be don't don't continue to tie your self-identity so much to your cognitive abilities because they can easily keep going. And that doesn't make you less smart. It doesn't rob you of that, you know, it just takes a little bit more time to do these things, you know. So um yeah, it's something um I mean, I like to think about when you consider the IQ bell curve, if you used to be way up all the way outside of the top end, 99.9999995%, you know, whatever, and you know, somebody with a 130 IQ is still pretty dang capable, and you know, they may not have seemed quite so smart to you back before, but um they're, you know, if you're down to their level, that doesn't mean that you're down and impaired necessarily. Um, so yeah, neurological issues are not um yeah, not something to fear. Um, but not something to take lightly at the same time.
Like, it sounds like you don't have that many events, so don't stress yourself into having more, worrying about it. Just take your meds, do what you need to do, and if you're having more breakthroughs or whatever, talk to your doctors. And yeah, like I they did an IQ test on me in elementary school, and yeah, it was very high. And now I feel like I'm kind of dumb when I used to be able to manage, 20 employees and, run stores and lots of other things. I can't imagine that I could do any of that now. So, but doesn't mean I'm not, that I can't function or I'm not myself. I'm still probably okay. I don't know. Guess I'd have to ask you guys. You guys talk to me more than anybody else, I think.
Super mom.
Anybody got anything to go with that? Can I move on?
I just want to say, I think I'm still paying attention. Did they say something about, you know, the brain damage? Do I just go into a coma and die? Um, the only way I can put this, and this might sound arrogant, and you gotta love yourself enough to stop hating yourself and wishing the negative. And when you're studying anything like medicine or psychology, and you find out about all these horrible things, and if you have a potential to have those horrible things, you start to feel it more than you should. And it's a really tough, it's kind of like I don't know, kind of like that line in the sand that you have to draw. It's like, okay, I could potentially have this, but that doesn't mean I have it. And just literally make the best of every moment you have. Do everything you can while you can. And even now, I'm a mess right now. My shoulder will not stay put. But I'm still out there with the weed whacker. I'm still out there. I'm going to go out and mow the lawn. You know, it'll hurt. I got an ice pack, all of that. Or I could just sit here and say, ah, my shoulder hurts. I can't do anything. Let's turn on Netflix. That does not make me happy. I mean, yeah, it does. I'm not going to lie, but it isn't satisfying. I have to do something, even if it's just mowing the lawn, I can still do it. And that's one of my mantras. It's like I will do what I can while I can, and if I can't do it, I'll do it later. And things changed. I remember, opening up my anatomy books. I still have my anatomy book, and I could just skim the page and pull out the information I needed. Now I have to read everything, highlight things, take notes. I'm not kidding. I could get through a chapter in a textbook while I was making dinner and take the test the next day and be all right. I can't do that anymore. So we have to change and adapt. But thinking that, oh my God, every seizure I'm going to have brain damage and blah. Yeah, probably. But every time you blow up too many balloons, you can have brain damage as well. So let's put that where it is. You can get brain damage from a near drowning. You don't have to have epilepsy. So saying, oh, I have epilepsy, I'm guaranteed to have these problems. You're guaranteed to have seizures, but they're not always going to kill you. And even when they kill you, I mean, didn't this person say that they had one, they died, things were okay, and now they're scared? I get that. We get that. If any of when having to be intubated and being told that you were in a coma for several days is probably the most frightening thing. And I'm thinking that might be where their mindset is right now. It's like, this just happened. It's going to happen again. And the more you worry, it's going to happen again. And you're
But
not
that's
going to
why
get
mowing the lawn will mean something. Being able to
exactly.
accomplish any task will really feel worth it after those level of what could go wrong kind of days.
Right, right. It's like I can still do these things. And I blew my daughter's mind the other day when I said, I need to get a lift because I have to change these blades in a couple of months. And she's looking at me and she's like, what are, so I'm on Amazon. I'm like, here, this is what I need. And I'm going to need struts and blocks. And I'm going off and off and on, and she's like, well, my dad was an um, he was a mechanic and a pilot in the Air Force. So I grew up with that. And then everything that I do, I try to glean some knowledge. And I think that's what keeps me going is I'm always looking for something new that I can use in my head, not, oh my gosh, I'm going to have another seizure and it's going to be over. Well, yeah, that could happen, but it's not right now.
There we go. And that sums up the most complete answer to that question we could have asked for. Welcome, Rick. How's it going today?
Hey there. Doing good. How you all doing?
Glad to see you, of course. Had a killer icebreaker. And it's something to the effect of what is something that you wish you had taken advantage of or something you wish you had done pre-diagnosis? I don't know. Anybody else jump in, see if I got that wrong.
Think
Go
of
ahead,
what
Salem. I'm unmute.
something you
Okay, there you go.
regret that
Oh,
epilepsy
okay. That's what it was. Anything you regret not doing. Just in life,
because
in
of
general.
epilepsy.
Doesn't even have to be epilepsy centered.
Okay. So anything, I guess, not getting myself into so much debt is non-epileptic related.
And
And
that's what I said. I went with an investment answer, so feel free.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, whether investing properly or just not overspending, on silly things. Okay, so I thought I deserved a new car at one point, so I got myself a new car. And I said, oh yeah, it'll stretch the budget, but I could afford it. And then furnace went, water heater went, and then roof needed repair and doctor bills. And next thing you know, I was really far in debt. So I had the car repossessed and really, really far in debt. So that would be something that, hey, don't do that next time. As far as diagnosis, so after the fun events of 2023 with the brain surgeries, I had spoken to my doctor about stopping any anti-seizure medicine because I know what caused it. And he said, oh yeah, we could try that. And then not realizing all the auras I had into 2024 was actually seizure related. And so I had the big one this March, which then set me back quite a bit. So my regret would have been maybe doing some more research and figuring out, hey, all those things going on are focal awares.
Yeah, that makes sense. Being able to connect the dots later on down the line is probably something we could all relate to.
And they say hindsight is 2020. I'm not kidding.
That is definitely a mantra. Just going through some rants here. A lot of people ranting about insurance. More procedures and things just seem to be requiring prior authorization, and moving state to state is something I'm not looking forward to. Anybody else have any just good loopholes, advice, something you think might be relevant for anybody with a chronic condition, really, since we all have to stay on top of it? I was happy with the Medicare Advantage plan. That one did end up actually saving money. Over, once you're on disability for long enough, you get the straight Medicare. It does not always pay as good as it's supposed to. So those Medicare Advantage plans did actually end up being worth it on my side.
My advice would be come to California.
But hit the lottery before you try to look for a place to live.
It's
Come to California if you can afford it.
Yeah, if you can afford it. If you can, I suggest it. Hospitals are easy to get into, get your MRI without waiting more than a month or two. Yeah, sometimes you can get an MRI same day. For medical stuff, well, there's hospitals everywhere else. We got Stanford and SFSU. But I got something here. Oh, about the shoulder thing. Ed was talking about the shoulder earlier. Was that you talking about your shoulder? Yeah, I got that this time. My shoulder really hurts. Like, I don't know what happened. This is different. This isn't the regular shoulder. But this chair with this massage, it's amazing.
Yeah. How have you lost any movement in your shoulder, or is it just hurts?
It hurts to move. I can
Okay.
still twiddle my fingers and stretch my arm, basic stuff.
Yeah, you can reach the back of your head and like reach back and tuck your pants in kind of thing.
Yeah, I got long arms. The reaching part is
Okay.
the problem.
No, I'm looking at the movement of your shoulder. But yeah, you may have tightened. Okay,
No,
that
I got
looks,
regular movement. It just hurts. Like, this is different.
yeah, it
I was in the
probably
hospital thinking, did I take it out of socket? Because I hear a lot of people say that, and I hope I didn't.
I hope
Feel it-
not. Or
I felt too
sometimes the
hot.
muscles just, yeah, they just squeeze the joint together and everything inside the joint is gonna hurt. Um, if you have any magnesium, because I know we shouldn't be taking ibuprofen. Even if it's just Epsom salts, put your feet in a bucket of water with Epsom salts. That might help get rid of the pain faster. Ice heat. But yeah, ouch.
Magnesium gel.
Yeah, the magnesium gel. I love that stuff. Love it. I want to buy a roller, a refillable roller, like a roll-on applicator, just to put that stuff in there. It's making it so I can mow the lawn later. I couldn't even move my hand earlier. But yeah, it sounds like you definitely tightened. I'm sorry, Pookie. I wish I was there. I would just put the magic on.
No, the chair helps. pretty
Yeah.
all right now. I don't feel it unless I move. It's this
Yep.
vibrating feature on this new
Oh.
chair.
Annie's
I
right.
just put the chair together and had a seizure.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
oh
Ah.
no.
I
Oh,
didn't even
Annie's
get to
right.
try it till I
Alternate
got back.
the heat and the cold packs. Hot pack, cold pack, hot pack, cold pack. Right? Am I right? I mean, that's what they always
You can
told my husband.
alternate, or I would start with ice, 20 minutes on,
Right.
let it rest, see if you can move it, then put some heat on.
Right.
After some heat, that's when you want to move it.
Right.
And
Okay.
yeah, shoulder
It's
exercises are easy to find. I'll find my favorite guy.
there's one where you can put your arm against the wall flat, and then you turn your hand back towards your back like that.
Yeah,
That way.
that's
And it you feel it too. If you hold that for a while, holy cannolis, you can feel that one in your
okay.
shoulder. So
You want
I
to
don't know if you
cringe?
can do that, but oh,
Yeah, you want to
okay.
cringe, Sailor? That's
Sure.
how my physical therapist checks to see the stability of the joint, because my humerus will pop right out when we do that. And we have to do that. So Friday, I'm going to see the surgeon because she let him know we can't get it back in. So I'm doing my thing with a well, it's not dislocated. It's actually called subluxed. It's not completely out. But yes, that
Right.
nasty
Partially,
little
partially kind of hanging
you
there.
want to be careful with that exercise. That is actually how
Yeah.
they get my shoulder to pop out. And
Oh, ow. Okay. That's bad. That's the only one I
cringe.
know to like stretch out this part of the back. It came from a friend of mine that had back problems. She blew out a couple of discs up here and down here when she was young, like 37. Goodness gracious, poor thing. Yeah, and they were
Can't even
trying to
stretch
teach
my
her how to do
arms the
some
same
things.
way.
So, yeah. I'm sorry. That's awful. I hate it. You're muted.
I'm so sorry, Pookie. But yeah, no, that's one of those fun. It is an exercise. Just be very careful with that. Yeah, I'm cringing. I'm trying to take a deep breath because all my muscles just went. Yeah, no, because oh
I'm
God,
so
it is.
sorry. I did not
That's
mean to do
okay,
that
love.
to
I'm
you.
like, oh, just be careful with that. That's why I'm like, I would
Oh
hate to see
God.
you do that and hurt yourself. But
Yeah, Pookie, be
my
careful.
shoulder
Don't
is,
force it.
yeah, I dislocated it so many times that and now this time it's called the labrum, which is like it's kind of like a cartilage capsule that holds the humerus in. It's completely torn. It completely separated. So every now and then I literally have to carry my arm, and I'm like, darn it. And it's not just the pain. It's just my arm is not attached to my body. And we joke around because my daughter is a orthopedic massage therapist and personal trainer. And I mean, she's absolutely amazing. She's not one of those flipping tires girl kind of personal trainer. She does functional fitness. So it's like, okay, mom, this is what we're going to do. And she can usually get it back in. We can get it moving. And this is when the therapists tell you you have to do these exercises even when it hurts. They're not kidding, because
Yeah.
that's when it makes the difference. And it was like I had a group of muscles too tight that were pulling on my back, and my daughter had, she poked around and then had me doing the pulleys, and it got the right muscles working to get my shoulder to come back. And then she's like, I got a joke for you, mom. I'm going to twist your arm. And she grabbed my arm and twisted it and pushed it in. And I'm like, okay, I can mow the lawn now.
Ow. Oof.
And And I'm like, yes, yes.
Talk about
You
somebody
think,
you're grateful to have in the family.
oh, I'm grateful that I live with her. We know now. It's like we could have never fixed this separately because I had to be with her when I showed up. I don't know how else to say it. It was not a coincidence. And she's amazing. You think I'm badass? You got to meet my daughter. They both are. Both of my girls. They are badass Mama
Strip off the
Dukes
old block,
2.0.
huh?
Yeah, they are.
There you
But
go.
even they're more gracious.
They
And I'm
learn
glad
from the
they have
best.
that.
That's what I'm looking forward to recognizing is how my children are just better than me, for sure. So, Brandon, welcome back. Icebreaker today is
What's something you regret not doing that you had the chance to do?
we'll get it one of these times.
I guess getting my license actually, because despite like me getting diagnosed later on, I never got my license. So I guess, yeah, that would have been nice. At least I could have said I had it at one point. But I try and just like, no, no, I'm just anti-car.
Yeah, Brandon, I think I would have tried to get a license too. Now that I think on it, as soon as I got my what's it called? Permit. Yeah, license. Dreams ended. Got something here. It says, do other people get weirdly emotional after a seizure? I don't know. After a seizure, I often have this experience where I feel like shit and I lash out at people. I don't do it as much anymore, but when I was younger, I'd even lash out at ambulance workers and strangers who were trying to help me. I think the thing is, the seizures show up in my life to tell me that I am weaker or maybe less independent than I'd like to be. It's uncomfortable to think about. They also make me hungry as fuck. Basically, I morph into this insanely emotional person who only returns to normal mental state only after ordering like 2 huge pizzas. First comment says, yes, I cry and I rant. Someone else said, I have this overwhelming feeling of dying. You guys get any type of emotions after a seizure?
For a grand mal, I get very tired.
And is that a feeling or an emotion?
I've been known to cry and sob, ugly cry, and like crushing guilt, and like, yeah, the feeling of wanting to die. I understand that. I mean, don't anybody call anybody on me, okay? I just it's the post-ictal state. It's not.
We
I'm
can agree on the
okay.
sloppy cry for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not. And I don't. When I say I want to die, I think it's just you just want to cease existing because it's too much. It hurts,
Right.
and you're overwhelmed, and you're like guilty, and you just want to go away so you don't bother the people that you're bothering, and all that stuff. But yeah, super emotional, definitely. And the hungry thing, like we've talked about this before. Every seizure, it's like a 16-hour workout for your body. Totally normal to be starvingly hungry. You just burned up a bunch of calories, even though you don't know it, right? That's why we all are so sore and stuff. Our muscles did stuff that we didn't do.
We should be ripped.
Consciously. Yeah, we should be, right? But yeah, no, the food thing, completely normal too. Lots of people have that as well. Anybody else? I'm going to shut up now.
I actually wanted to like sort of key in on what you were saying, Sarah, about the guilt for it's like the people around you. But then when you try and tell people like, hey, I'm so sorry, they're always like,
it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's like, yes, but let me feel this. Let me feel guilty a little bit, because it makes me feel better at least.
Yeah, I was going to say the depressive thoughts getting easier after a seizure in the post-ictal phase. Um, Not so much the deep, like suicidal ones, but yeah, the guilt and other thoughts of like why me and stuff like that.
I
Yeah,
don't mean I want to die. I just mean I want to, hide, I guess.
yeah. Those thoughts creep in, and yeah, scared and angry sometimes.
Well, that's a good part about what that post said. It sounds like whoever put that up already started exploring those feelings, the motivation behind those feelings. So, maybe when seizures tend to happen on just a really bad couple of days, those are the ones that I'm more likely to come back not in a good mood either. So sometimes acknowledging when feelings are kind of building up and you just don't express, you don't actually forget them. Sometimes they just definitely come out at the worst time, and that would be after a really long seizure because you
I
know
have
you're going to
also
be sore in those places.
I've also lashed out at EMT and hospital workers after seizure. Yeah. It's not, I don't think it's unusual. And I'm a really calm, like introverted person. And I'm over here cussing out my husband and my paramedics, telling them, you MFer, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just really calm. Normally I cry, but occasionally I get angry and start cussing people out. But
I
it
couldn't
happens.
imagine any of you. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's like the height thing. You guys are so little. I couldn't imagine that coming out of you.
Oh no, Pookie. I had I almost got arrested when I
Mm,
was coming out of a seizure. And I remember when I did get arrested after a seizure. And then they're like, wait, this is shit. Okay, we get it now. But when the security guard came up to see if I was okay, and I saw how much he wasn't, I'm like, dude, what the hell? He said, I just got to tell you, I am so shocked, and this is the story of my life, that I am telling everybody I got beat up by this little old lady in the emergency room, and four other guys were holding you down. And I'm like, and he said, girl, you got a wicked left.
okay, that is good to know about that wicked left.
Don't mess with Annie. That's now we know.
Right.
I
We know
would
she got a wicked
never,
butt.
I wouldn't even slap my kids. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. Do we get emotional? Yo, I said the wrong things and found out about it later, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And don't you love when somebody will hold on to that information too? Like let it go ahead and settle into like a rift in your relationship, and then they tell you they blow up like months later and say, "Yeah, you remember that time you told me that you wish I was dead?"
Yep.
Like, no, I wasn't there.
They will
When
use
did that
it
happen?
years later.
You
My
know?
ex-husband, my
Oh,
fucking
that doesn't count.
ex-husband.
Nothing
Yeah,
they
no,
say
okay.
fucking counts.
But he did that all the time. And then my kids figured it out. And it's like, but dad, you said mom never had seizures. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he would use that all the time. And I've had it happen accidentally, but it's like, I don't remember that, but I'm gonna apologize for it now because y'all remember I do have this brain thing going on, but yeah, I hate that. I hate that.
Hey, Kevin. Icebreaker time. Are you ready?
Yeah, how you doing? How's everyone doing?
So far, so good. Everyone
Great.
looks pretty good today. I think I'm the only one who had a seizure on Sunday. So
We
I'm
were
good
all
though.
with you.
Suicidal ideation. I would never kill myself. I have never thought of a plan. I have very intention to live very long, happy life. I have no mental illness or family history of mental illness, but sometimes it pops into my head, just the no more epilepsy thing part of it. I hate the I hate the thought of having to take medicine for the rest of my life. I hate the embarrassment. I hate being babied. I hate feeling the bald kid with cancer. I just want to go away. Has anyone ever felt like this? Just the want to be over it. To be clear, I'm not suicidal. It just pops into my head. I think they would put you in 72-hour holds if you had thoughts like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will definitely put you in a hold.
Yeah, that's what all those disclaimers are about. Like, I'm definitely not thinking about this. It just kind of passively. I mean, even mentioning that.
Yeah, that's pretty much something you should see a doctor about. You
Yeah,
can ask your doctor that and they won't lock you up.
Should say, not locked up.
you can for ask your doctor in a way, like say you're feeling depressed about things if you know it's not you being suicidal and it is the meds. Um because I witnessed I'm not going to say witness, I experienced an episode like that after the Capra, and it like even with the PTSD after my first cluster, being aware, it it got to me, and the suicide ideation does happen. So, but you can ask them for some, not ask them, but let them know, because I didn't ask for anything. I just told them, "Hey, I'm feeling a little depressed," and my neurologist put me on Lexapro.
Yeah, that's how I got off Keppra. I told my doctor I feel like I just wanted to walk into the middle of the intersection. And I was like, yeah, those are thoughts of suicide, right? And yeah, he's the only one who said he wouldn't lock me up for it because I came to him about it. And he was like, we'll just get you off of that stuff. Told him this is the first one that ever had me contemplating, do I want to keep doing this? I was in my early 20s, about 5 or 6 years in by then. So yeah,
That's
and
terrible.
I had a kid, so it changed fast.
And this
I
asshole still
noticed.
wanted to hold that over your head, say I could be turning you in right now, but I'm actually gonna, do my duty and help you like I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
I hate some people. Good.
I was gonna say, like, when I first started on Capra, I definitely like felt those. It it's not like a suicidal thought. It's just like a I don't want to deal with anything anymore. It's like you don't want to like hurt yourself. You just don't want to have to deal with it anymore. Like you just want to just can I just be gone? I didn't ask to be born
Sailor
anyway.
Mom said it best: cease to exist.
Yeah.
You just want to cease to
SUDEP
exist
doesn't
sometimes.
sound so bad, just boom, done, right?
It's
And
the
yeah,
butterfly
exactly.
effect you want to happen. Well, Ashton Kutcher erases himself out of history.
my thought always kind of went when I was having those thoughts because they subsided over time, but it was definitely like at the start of when I was on Kepra. Um, was oh wait, shit! I just lost my train of thought. Damn it! I hate when that happens. Okay.
All right, I'll pick up that car there for you. We'll come back, but I'm just gonna
But don't
throw it
you
in
love how
that.
he covered for it? He was just like, oh shit, like he actually dropped something
Yeah,
physically out of his hand.
I know. I love it. I love it, Brendan. I really absolutely
I'm not
adore you.
Italian, but I speak like I'm Italian.
But that
Yeah,
was
but
perfect
it's
segue into any new subjects. So go
yes,
ahead and pick it up with
yes.
anything.
The that whole thing with the suicidal ideation, I would end up arguing with providers and saying I have no plan, but I'm having these thoughts and I know their side effects, but I would end up in psych every time, every single time. And I finally said, you know what? And like Angel said, and I wish I could be that graceful, but just letting them know, there's something making me really depressed. But what I've experienced in healthcare lately, oh, well, then you need behavioral therapy. No, I think I need a medication change. And here we are 5 years later, yay, attempting a medication change. But yeah, those thoughts being side effects. Why do we have to argue with even EMTs? Because non-epileptic medications are known for this. And if they know you have epilepsy and you're saying, during the beginning of a seizure or coming out of one, I don't want to come back. I don't want to be here. I would rather be dead. And then, oh my God, she's suicidal. I don't remember saying that, but that's what my brain is saying, that whole. But why aren't they looking at that whole thing as more of a side effect than a mental health disorder? And I don't know if you guys seem to have, you had it easy telling your doctor this stuff is bothering me. But how many of us women end up in a different corner when we mention that side effect?
And once you get that flag on your chart, it's like that drug resistant diagnosis being the first thing they see. Some of them the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely does take a lot more attention than it needs in a lot of situations, cases.
Yeah. It's I don't know what to say about it, but
I'm just
Yeah,
looking for
I'm
anything more
sorry.
positive. A lot of people have had a rough week.
Yeah.
my week was pretty good. I mean, except ending up at the hospital. I could have had a seizure and still had a good week if I didn't go to the hospital. Like that, I feel like it messed me up. Like I woke up and had to sit there wide awake when I could have been at home just getting some rest. But yeah,
You're on your neighbor's couch.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.